What up, everyone? Welcome back to Blade Bias. Today I saw a balloon. Today I make good on my promise to talk about this bad boy. Call it the week of the Orion because apparently I should be getting a 1.5 in fairly soon to talk about. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm leaking that a little bit early, but I told you guys I would talk about these bad boys, the dark wood spacers that I installed on my Orion, and which made the Orion my favorite battle song to flip in my entire collection. But first, before we get into that, let me just give you guys a juicy little sound test. Oh, it makes the Orion sound so good. It would sound so much better if it didn't have that ring from the comb blade, which I know annoys a few people, kind of annoys me as well. I'm kind of out of my phase of really liking rings in ballad songs. I think, yeah, the Sliff T is a ring that I really do like. Same with something like my Nemesis. But this sort of like pingy ring that the Orion has, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I know a few other people aren't the biggest fan of it. Anyway, I'm waffling right now. Let me waffle about the spacers for a little bit because these were sent to me by Warwack in my Discord. I believe their Instagram is, yes, Whackin' Chaplin. Quite the name, but Whackin' Chaplin on Instagram. Warwack in my Discord. He reached out to see if I would be interested in trying out some spacers for the Orion, and I am because, in case you couldn't tell, I really like dark wood tones. And I especially think dark wood tones go amazing with this green on the Orion, which is more of like a darker blue green. You know, it just looks really good in my opinion. I like it a lot. But also you get, differences in the balance because if I get these original spacers over here, these are aluminum. I don't know this for sure. I would love to be able to measure it, but I would bet you that these wooden spacers weigh about as much altogether as these aluminum spacers do because you can really feel it in the balance. It takes the Orion, especially the comb blade version, but the default Orion has always been a ballad song that's a bit end weighted. There's hot spot in the end of the handles because it's sandwiched. There isn't a lot of distributed mass throughout the rest of the handles. And this takes it to something that isn't that. It still does have that end weight, but it feels a little bit more distributed, and it's just, it's beautiful. Honestly, up until I got the Origin a few days ago, it was my main thing that I had been flipping, along with the Prisma Pro, because my love for that thing just never dies. I don't know what's up with that. But the Orion is it's just really solid with these spacers, I have to admit. Now, I will say, Warwack did send over these full channel spacers, and they sound and feel really good. They make the balance feel really interesting. They distribute the weight even further along the handles. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to use them when I took this thing apart and put these in, because I initially wanted the full channel. I thought that was awesome. But when I initially put them in, the safe handle would bind up and it would cause all these issues. I thought it was the spacer, so I put the other spacer in the safe handle. Same exact issue. My theory is it's just a bad bushing tune, but I'm not entirely sure why that would manifest through, a full channel spacer, because you're technically pressing maybe out a little. I don't really know. I have no idea why it would be causing that, but it caused binding. Because the issue was with the handle more than the specific spacer, I'd have a hard time blaming the spacer. Although Warwack did say that he wanted to work with me a little bit to figure out possibly why that was happening, which I'll hopefully be able to do when I actually head home for Thanksgiving and I'm able to pick up a package that's been waiting there for way too long now. But I've got the half channel spacers, thankfully do work pretty well, and they are fantastic. They make the Orion sound better. They make it feel better, in my opinion. It just flips amazingly now. I mean, it flipped amazingly before, and it already was a ballad song that I really like the balance of. But this small change just led me to like it so much more. I really am quite impressed with what these were able to do. And, you know, they just look really nice. I alluded to it earlier, but I really, really like the look of like dark wood with green. Someone actually made fun of me in my live stream chat and said, yeah, bro, that's literally a tree. And I sat back and I was like, you know what? You're right. Green and dark wood is literally a tree. So, you know, I guess I'm into trees. But I've always liked green and brown. I think it's a really cool color combo if you do it right. It's obviously not like a color combo I'd make myself known for. Like Blade Bias is kind of known for like the teal and green. I would never change it to green and brown, but I really like green and brown. Like green and brown outfits, green and brown here, or, you know, wear these headphones with some sort of green. I think it looks amazing. And speaking of these headphones, again, dark wood is kind of just my jam. I don't know. I really, really like the look of it. So Warwack, I believe, will be selling the half-channel variants of these on his Instagram. Could be completely off about that because, you know, things can change way quicker than is able to be communicated to me before I make these videos. But I think the best thing would just be to give him a follow and maybe reach out, or actually don't reach out, don't inundate him, but give him a follow on Instagram, see what he's up to. Last I heard, I think he said he wanted to potentially explore selling the half-channel spacers. Full channel maybe later once he figures out why mine went so wrong. Again, I still think it's a wacky bushing tune. Or, you know, maybe it's just the wacky blade, because you guys remember this blade was just screwed from the factory. It was bent, and I had all these adventures with it, and then I decided to just take a blowtorch to it and give it some color. But the craziest thing is these spacers have eliminated any tolerance issues with this thing. Before, I would have to tighten this thing all the way down and it would still tap. It was crazy. I put these spacers in, I tighten them down, nothing. No tap, barely any play. You would never be able to tell that this blade is like borderline about to touch this channel. You would never be able to tell it. You see that? It looks bad, but then you do this and it's not bad and it's awesome. So not only does it sound better, flip better, but you're also a miracle worker, Warwack, because it just has better tolerances somehow. I don't know. I'm really impressed. I just wanted to make a video just to talk about it because I'm super excited about these things. And I wanted to shout out someone who sent me a really, really cool package. I am sorry again, Warwack, that it took me so long to install these. I had these for like 3 weeks to a month before I was able to get them installed. But busy times are busy. Just ask my upload schedule lately. Which, speaking of the upload schedule lately, why do you guys pick the UFO video to pop off? First time making a video back after being sick for a week, and then it just goes crazy, and it's about one of the worst ballad songs I've ever flipped. I actually really haven't touched the UFO since that video. Maybe I'll have to make a follow-up video on that so people to see what ended up. I actually can flip it better. I've touched it maybe once or twice, but I can flip it better than I could in that initial video, so I don't know. Thing's a goofy one, but what isn't a goofy one are these spacers. So thank you again, Warwack, for sending them to me. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, the Orion, for existing. And other goofy outros. Yeah, I don't know. It's about all I got for you. Unless I can do this. Ooh, almost. Really close. I'll get this. It was sloppy, but we got there. I'll get that trick down eventually. Anyway, until the next one, thank you all for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.